It's a sang along.
Here we go, everybody. Hey! Come on, everybody. Sunday apocalypse. Like
Is it over?
We're gonna have a feature for everybody. It's a sing along with a sang along.
I think that was.
One more time.
I don't even know what to do anymore.
Why aren't we doing that
next week
earlier?
when we sing along to this? What we just sang along. It's going to get exponential. It's like COVID. It just keeps growing.
Pretty soon it's going to be like medieval opera or some shit. You know,
It could be. Speaking of some shit, welcome to Raghu Adibhatla. I saw you sneaking in there.
Oh.
Popping in everywhere, Mike.
Raghu pops up.
We've got a wild show. If you're new, Mike and I are here. You know,
That's my avatar on the left, and I have to tell you, I'm a little embarrassed, Chuck.
What's the matter, buddy? What are you embarrassed about?
It looks like one more time, those of you who've been here before, absent-minded, you know, people are always saying, hey, Mike, you're old. Like I don't own a mirror. You know what I mean?
Right.
And,
I think they think you might.
apparently I walked out of the house and forgot to leave my Golden Globe at home.
Jesus, folks.
Yeah.
Mike Langworthy, to your benefit and mine and ours, is a Golden Globe winning television comedy writer. I think that's great, but he seems to forget that he carries his trophy around. Or
Chuck, you know, the information is for everybody's benefit, but I think my talent is too.
Maybe he's just not in charge of the PowerPoint and I keep the Golden Globe out there. Either way, we have a terrific sponsor who's proud of us. This is a brand new sponsor, Mike. It's called Thanks for Physical Distancing for Thanksgiving.
Drive my pregnant roadster.
So they thought you did great work with the election. You got everybody to vote. Again, we didn't tell you which side, although it seems like you voted correct. I'm just saying, gang.
No matter how many times they count the Wayne County votes,
right,
still goes for Biden.
You know, if you're like me, I'm sad about Thanksgiving. My friends and I have decided we were going to get together, and then it just is not going to happen. And if that happened to you, you know, we've got a show to hopefully try and cheer you up. This is our where Mike and I go. This is the Colorado Comedy Show's virtual event center. Thanks for wearing your mask, Mike. That's helpful.
No, I'm trying to set an example.
What it is here in the writing room is just, this is where we assemble the show. So we're going to take you on a little tour for virtual Thanksgiving. Then we're going to introduce you to
Chuck.
Raghu. You're going to do some comedy too. Mike, I'm sorry to interrupt. How can I help you?
There's a little something in the background that's distracting everybody. There's supposed to be a beautiful view of the Rocky Mountains.
I think it's a gorgeous view, Mike. I think it's just an absolutely perfect view of the Rockies. What could you do?
Well, there's the thing in the window that looks like a fragile.
Mike, it is fragile. That happens to be my Kennedy Center Award for the APA Award for.
What a perfect day for you to display it.
So that's my Kennedy Center American College Theater Festival Region 7 APA Award for Innovative Teaching. That's an award with 2 acronyms in it. That's higher education for you.
That is how big of an award it is.
What we'll do, Mike,
on the plaque to put
we'll take everybody back to virtually the first Thanksgiving, because I believe this is all of our first virtual.
Don't know that I officiated at the first.
So we get the I'm a Needy back there. It's this is the original, what they could say might be the original Thanksgiving. Mike, what was it like to work this gig?
Oh, you know I tell you, the Pilgrims weren't big laughers.
Right. No.
They thought the Inquisition was soft on Jews. They were not big.
Right. Sinners in the hands of an angry crowd. That's what it's like
They
to
got
tell
out of
jokes
England
with that
because,
one. Oh, for Christ's sakes. Listen,
the salads.
it's going to be
Look,
really important on your virtual Thanksgiving that you have salad. Roughage is just good for you. We get
something
it.
to help choke that turkey down with. You know, the Indians were back at the camp going, "We
Right.
gave them the turkey.
I wouldn't mind choking that
The only
turkey.
bird we won't eat." Oh, look
Mike,
at this.
I
And
believe
again, with
you're-
apparently somebody owns a time machine, has been able to go back to Pilgrim days and put in self-promotion.
what they're doing, Mike, is they're reading charter for the
Mhm.
first Thanksgiving, and I thought I should illuminate their reading with a nice Kennedy Center Award for Julia.
Lamp, something, yeah,
Um,
it's good because they're only 300 years from electricity, so I'm sure it did them a lot of good.
Right.
I like the way they did it. They read it under a huppah, so if they're writing Hebrews and among the Mayflower people, they could get married immediately following the reading of the charter.
You know, Mike, when it comes to these kinds of jokes, you really lighten them up, my friend. You are good people. I thought this would be fun, Mike. We take folks, here's an interior view of the Mayflower. So where was your cabin?
They're very difficult to keep it afloat.
And I think, did you stay on level 1 or 2? Did you balcony suite, or when your family was coming over here? Mike's that white, everybody. I'm trying to say.
I was standing on shore, waving the boat in. I was saying, bring it in, bring it in, bring it in. You'll love the Indians. They give you everything.
Right, right.
They don't even understand ownership. It's great.
Just in case you need to do a little light reading, the Kennedy Center Award is located just in the middle of the boat.
I can't circle it on his thing.
What can I do, Mike?
That was the
I like
master.
to play hide the Kennedy Center Award. There, look at that, Mike. Have you ever been?
I've never been to Plymouth Rock, but Plymouth Rock has been on me.
Right. This is a popular field trip for kids in my neighborhood. You go see Plymouth Rock and you'd look at it and be like, really? That's it. So if you were unimpressed, welcome to Plymouth Rock. And I hear this looks like your set list from your first gig at Plymouth Rock, Mike. I
was actually a deacon in the Church of Christ.
Well, God bless it, my friend. Thanks for sharing. And I thought I'd wrap up the tour. You often spoke of your days at Plymouth Beach.
Oh yeah.
So
right over in the upper left-hand corner, that's the Powhatan Yuck Yucks where I headlined.
What a great gig. So I thought we'd take everybody over there real quick.
Yes.
Yeah. Plymouth Beach.
As you can see, this is the coin castle, which you go in there and you make coins. Apparently, it's a way that the U.S. Mint has saved a little bit of money by making a tourist distraction. And
right. For those of you from Colorado, imagine water. And so much of it that there was enough that many people wanted to go, and then they would have activities like what you're seeing on screen. Lots and lots of meatballs.
In Denver, this would just be next to me. This would just be a woman in her underpants. But out there, it's a bathing suit.
Right. In my day, Mike, the meatballs smelled like Dracar Noir.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, look who showed up.
Make sure that while you're having a cheesesteak, you top it off with a salad.
Right, right. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed their tour of the virtual Thanksgiving, and we have a fun group of comedians here and a regular, so I think we ought to scoot him right on.
Yes, I like I prefer to call him Lukoff, but I don't think that is the correct pronunciation. I'll give
right. I believe we're rushing to have some jokes here, Mike. Would you please welcome Niko Lukoff, everybody?
Thank you so much, everybody.
Off.
Thank you so much.
Niko.
That's me. That's me. So I got some exciting stuff to talk about. The other day I sat on a tall wooden chair. It's going to be a very exciting 6 minutes and 45 minutes. The other day I sat in a tall wooden chair, but it didn't have any armrests. It didn't have a backrest. Like overall, it was actually a really, really uncomfortable experience. But then I put a pillow on top. Put a pillow on it actually helped out quite a bit. It turned out I just needed a stool softener.
Oh, flag on the play.
And you know, those of you that didn't laugh, that's fine. I get it. That's fine. I get it. That was a numb ass joke, folks. That was a numb.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe just sit with it for a while. See what you think. Sit for a while. You know, I like this one. I like that one. I think it's got legs.
All right, that one I give you.
All right. You've convinced me. I'm gonna keep this one. That's solid.
Oh, well, you know, you have to keep the whole bit now because it builds to that.
That is how a bit works. You're right, Mike. Thanks.
Ooh, wow.
I was raised in the only Jewish household that had no humor, which might provide some context for that first bit. I was raised in the only Jewish household that had no humor. Like, we didn't joke around with each other. Our only roasts were briskets. We didn't even really use sarcasm. Yeah, no sarcasm. That was super fun. I'm sorry, guys. I'm working on sarcasm. Okay, I've been working on sarcasm. I'm gonna find that if I've got to wander this land for 40 more years, just another Jew joke. We wander. Here's what we did have, though. We had lots of passive aggression. But I would have thought you'd have known that by now if you cared. I think volleyball was invented for people who just don't know how to catch.
Yeah.
They're like basketballs are too heavy, balloons are too light. What do we do? And then to make it official, I think this is what they did. To make it official, they just went to a tennis court. This is kind of hard to do on Zoom. They go to a tennis court and they grabbed onto the net and just went like this.
Yeah.
Goal! Touchdown! Home run. And eventually this person became very tired and was replaced by some poles. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. The other day I was challenging this dude on Facebook Messenger, and he's like, "Hey, Niko, do you want to go hang out in a Zoom?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure. Who's got a Zoom hang going?" Because we do like these group Zoom hangs and stuff. And he's like, No, man. I mean, just me and you.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the proper reaction. Oh, buddy, pump the brakes. Like, we just met on a Zoom open mic 3 days ago. And I get it. In COVID times, that's exactly, let's see, 4.26 trillion days when you carry the one. But I kind of feel like that'd be zooming to the Zoom level of our relationship. And also, look, I'm straight and happily married, and yet sometimes those do go together. I didn't say these things out loud, obviously. I'm only an asshole on the inside. Where it counts. I'm not like Mike, no.
Hey, wait a minute.
But I was like, sure, why shouldn't we hang out? Let's hang out. And we did. Him and I, we actually had a lovely time. We had a wonderful time hanging on Zoom together, just me and him. We shared a lot of funny stories. We discussed some really interesting topics on this weird but completely platonic internet date. And then I realized that's what a podcast is. It's just an internet date with a theme. And the theme could actually be having no theme. Oh, I'm sorry, Q&A. The only difference between this and a podcast was a record button, RSS feed, and begging all our friends to listen. Then it's like where should we hang out? You know, my podcast or your podcast, my place.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Well, let's face it, folks. Even if you don't have a place, you probably still have a podcast. I know. Book me on your themed internet dates. I'm a good time. I got busted in high school for selling weed. Yeah, because you're just not supposed to do that there. They really frown upon it, which was a bummer because I was just trying to turn frowns upside down, you know? But I made the same mistake that a lot of fellow passionate people make, and I just ruined my favorite hobby by turning it into a job. Maybe some comedians on Zoom can relate. The job I obviously wasn't very good at. I mean, look, I was 15 years old. I tried not to beat myself up too much, but I didn't go through training for anything like that. I was 15. I didn't know a whole lot about business, okay? I just knew that I was supposed to buy low and sell high. A little too literally. And folks, that is literally my time. You all been super fun. Hey, got sarcasm. Woo! Everybody's great.
Hey, good jokes at my expense, by the way. Welcome. Big round of applause to his last performance on the No, seriously, I'm not thin-skinned or anything. Oh man.
No.
I'll never work for no money in your basement in this town again, my friend. Okay, this is not an anagram. This is actually a person's name.
Right.
Somebody who started out with us some time ago on the Open Mic, which is another show that Chuck produces and that I host, as opposed to one that Chuck produces and he hosts and I butt into. And then he's become a sometime performer on this show as well. And this is going to be another one of those performances. Please welcome, if you will, Sukumar Vijayaraghavan. And
Hey, hi everybody. I think what I wanted to do today was, as this was the first virtual Thanksgiving, I thought maybe there was something common with the first ever Thanksgiving with the Pilgrims. And turns out there's nothing, nothing in common. But what I think there is some commonality with the millions of people who are now sort of are traveling around the globe, thanks to one of Trump's henchmen, Scott Atlas, who clearly doesn't act as if the weight of the world is on his shoulder, and who said that, everybody should go celebrate Thanksgiving. This might be the last time you might see grandma alive. So these are the people I think who will have a Thanksgiving that's something similar to what the Pilgrims did. No, think about it. You open the door, there's a bunch of people who show up carrying the plague with them. And, they have viruses that you've never seen, your body isn't familiar with. The Pilgrims came on the Mayflower, and your friends came with the gravy boat, so it's pretty similar. So these days, I think I tried a few years to actually have people over for Thanksgiving. But these days I decided, enough is enough. I make sure that I get invited to other people's place for Thanksgiving. It saves me the bother of cooking and washing up and the leftovers. What do you do with the leftovers? In all my years trying to quit smoking, if there's one thing I've learned, is that I don't do cold turkey. But as a foodie, I'm actually fascinated about the eating part of Thanksgiving. Just the size and the size of the portions and how much people eat. And I know we all overeat, and it's been true throughout time. Even the pilgrims overeat. And there's descriptions of them lying down, loosening their waist belt, and also loosening the buckle on their hat. And some of these food things I really don't understand. So recently I found out this thing called the turducken, which is basically a duck inside a turkey and a chicken inside the duck. And I think the pilgrims would have been appalled, seeing people shove a duck up a turkey's ass. And I don't think I could eat it as well, because though I have been in this country for close to 3 decades, there are some foods that I cannot eat. So, for example, if I have a hamburger, it'll go right through me. My own interpretation of the In-N-Out burger. So recently, I learned another new thing. There's a Mexican friend of mine who said they have a tradition where they soak the turkey in alcohol overnight. And this apparently has its roots in folklore, which a few Thanksgivings after the first one. And it turns out that at that time, there was a turkey that made fun of Mexicans drinking alcohol while they were eating. So this is a symbolic way of them getting a revenge on the turkey, and this the dish is named after the original turkey, and it's called the tequila mockingbird.
Hell yeah.
Somebody beat me to it in the text.
So what? You didn't beat me to it, man.
So I enjoy Thanksgiving, but I do think there are many people I meet who do not know what the history of Thanksgiving is. And many years ago, I was at a frat party. Well, it wasn't really a frat party because all of us had jobs, but we were all drinking Jägermeister from plastic Solo cups. So while in the middle of the party, there's this woman who might have been in her 20s came and said, "I wonder how Jesus would have celebrated Thanksgiving." So I asked her, so do you even know the story? When you're hanging up from 12 feet up in the air, the last word that comes to your mind is thanks. But that's sort of I sort of attribute that to the Jägermeister talking. But recently a person asked me, how do you celebrate Thanksgiving in India? So notice that he didn't want to know whether we celebrate Thanksgiving or not. He just assumed that because Americans celebrated Thanksgiving, the rest of the world must as well. And so I told him, at every year at Thanksgiving at 11 o'clock, the entire population stands up and says, "Phew, we dodged a bullet." So that that brings me up to something that happened a few years ago. So we were in Utah visiting a Paiute reservation, and at the end of the visit, I was at the gift store and had a really nice conversation with the person behind the counter. And around 10 minutes into the conversation, she asked, where I was from. And I said, India. And immediately she shut down and didn't speak to me after that. So I was worried. I thought maybe I had offended her in some way. So I asked her, and she said, if it hadn't been for people like you, Columbus would have never come to this country. So I don't think that's necessarily true, because in 1400s there was enough known about India that Columbus would have known that he wasn't in India at that point. But perhaps, like someone we know, he just didn't want to concede, not knowing the fact. So, but I was thinking about this. If Chris had actually landed in India, what would have happened? He would have had two problems. First, understanding the people and not the language. I'm sure he could have found an interpreter for that. But the head bob. I think one of the things that's characteristically Indian is that when we agree with something, we actually bob our head, not nod it like civilized persons do. And nobody knows where that originated, because I'm sure we are the only nation where we do this. And when I came to this country, the first year I had a real problem, because people would ask, do you want to go for dinner? And I would say, and they would say, is that a yes or a no? And so no one knows how we why we do this, but there is a legend that says that there was an ancient despotic ruler who actually did the head bob, and the people were wondering what the hell he was doing, but nobody wanted to tell him that, because if he was upset, he would make these angry bird noises at people. And so people were so afraid of these tweets that they decided that they would rather do it themselves instead of telling him he got it wrong. Okay, so that's the first thing Christopher Columbus would have felt. The other thing that would have really done him in is this Indian tendency to bargain for everything, right? So he would have landed on the shores, and the interactions would have gone something like this. So the local people would have said, we need you to pay some docking fees, and that would be about $5,000. So Columbus would be outraged. It's $5,000 per ship, and they would say, actually, it's we charged Marco Polo $10,000 a few years ago. So, and also that the 5,000 is only for the Nina and Pinta, because the Santa Maria is, you see, it's projecting a bit more to the side and occupies more space. So it's 10,000 for that. So what I'm trying to say is that Columbus wouldn't have understood the fundamental process of bargaining, and that is being entirely shameless. Something I have lost after all these years. Last year I was in India, and I went to buy a shirt, and the woman there said it's $200, and I thought I was being very savvy, and I said, I'll give you 170. And the moment I said that, my cousin who was with me, he dragged me out of the store and said, you keep your mouth shut, I'll take you to another store. So we went to the next store, and they said, the woman there said, no, the shirt is $200. And my cousin piped up, said, I'll give you 20. And so in the end, we haggled, and I got the shirt for $50 instead of $200. So all I'm saying is that if Columbus had landed in India, Columbus Day would not be the day he landed, but the day he jumped off a cliff. So that's my set. Thank you.
Come on.
Yeah, there you go. Interesting that like I said in the chat, interesting that the subcontinent was using American dollars in the 15th century.
That's why I said
They were
bucks.
way ahead of their times as merchants of civilization.
Right. That set was historic.
Yeah.
Gang.
You don't just laugh. What do we say about this show every week? You don't just laugh at the apocalypse, you learn.
Right, you learn.
Don't just laugh, you learn.
Travel. We ought to just take the I'm a needy for
Oh,
just a
yeah.
moment.
I'm over the moon about this show so far.
Thank you, everyone. This audience is just terrific. We love the way you're laughing and enjoying the show. So hope you enjoy your moonlight cruise. A lot of fun comedy. And
let's put a lamp on this next
to the show is a wonderful friend, and I'm so glad she accepted our invitation to tell you some really funny jokes. So would you please, well, I can't, what's that next to your last name?
Just ignore that. Just ignore that.
That happened.
This is 11:22. It's a little unseemly.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mary Kennedy.
Yes. Hi, everybody. Oh my gosh, Chuck Roy, I love you. We dated in the 80s. No, we didn't. I wish. Anyway, hi, yes, I'm reporting live from Van Nuys, California, and I get a theme that's happening, you guys. Thanksgiving, and I'm so grateful you're all here because I've been stuck with my husband in quarantine for 8 months. Help! 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 I'm on house arrest. Anyway, and I'm looking for my timer because I'm that type of comic. Anywho's, yes, it's been interesting over here in Van Nuys, which for you guys that don't live in California, Van Nuys is Sherman Oaks adjacent. And so, yeah, I'm originally from Boston, and the accent, and Chuck knows about this, the accent was affecting my sex life. It's true. It'd be nothing like a night of heavy lovemaking when I turn to a guy next to me and I go, "That's a wicked big pissy you got down there, huh?" Go Pats, go Pats. Here in Los Angeles, our newscasters, they're all over the COVID, and they're very coiffed and they've got Botox. When you go to Boston, you're watching the news because they have cigarette lines and they're overly tanned. And, I bought my first house in Boston, and the bank guy was like, "All right, congrats. You got a freaking house. Sign here, sign there. Here's your goddamn keys. Don't let the door kick you in the ass." I got a colonoscopy in Boston. The doctor was like, "Your pictures look freaking awesome. Go Pats, go Bruins, go Celtics. I got to get a dog at the Garden. I just want you to tell me if I've got colon cancer." That's it. And then I got married in Boston, and the priest was like, "I now pronounce you husband and wife because Tom Brady was taken." Anyway, so that's where I'm from. I got raised from a mom and a dad who didn't particularly like each other, and my mother came out of the closet when she was 55. Not because she was a lesbian, but because she liked the comfortable shoes. It's true. And lesbians in Massachusetts dress all in fleece, Chuck, all in fleece, head to toe. They look like a Q-tip. It's not very fashionable. But my mom taught me to be a good girl, speak my mind. But in Boston, parenting organizations, mom groups are different than here in LA. Here in LA, it's like soy lovers for Susie or yoga mamas. In Boston, it's good enough parenting. Good enough. Good enough. Your kid's alive. You fed him frozen tater tots. You feed him lobster rolls for breakfast. Good enough. Anyway, I shared a room with my Irish Catholic grandmother until I was 18 years old. It's true. One side of the room was a shrine to Jesus, and the other side of the room was a shrine to Duran Duran because grandma was hungry like a wolf. See, Chuck, it's been a while. I was a whore growing up. I did everything but the Catholic priests. because I wasn't their type. And so grandma would be waiting on the porch with her rosary beads after a night of heavy lovemaking and petting. And she'd go, I hope you didn't pull a Mary Magdalene. She was a whore. And it's true. My mom had a band growing up. That's how she raised us kids. It consisted of 40-year-old divorcees singing hot stuff and locomotion called the Mood Swings. Mm-hmm. Yes. Now they're in their 60s. They're called the Hot Flashes. Don't be jealous. And here's the thing. We were a depression family. My grandmother was a depression baby, and she wouldn't ever buy anything. So our oven broke one year. And instead of getting an oven, she bought a convection oven. Now, a convection oven is like 7 times the size of a microwave oven, and it takes forever to cook anything. So Thanksgiving took 4 days. It was like sitting Shiva. It was like Passover. It was ridiculous. So I've been married 17 years to the same man. God bless America. And he's very introverted. He doesn't look at me in the eye or speak. It is like being married to Helen Keller. I would like him to say, Annie Sullivan, go to the well. And he's a little stressed over this whole thing that's going on. And I do a lot of like the mom work. I go grocery shopping, all that stuff. So the other day I came into the house. I go, can you get the groceries out of the car, please? Can you? And he goes, hold on, I'm busy. I'm in the middle of something. And I look over and my husband's playing Legos. Okay, he's playing Legos. He's almost 50. He's playing Legos. Then I said to him the other day, can you go to the bank for me, please? Could you? He's like, you know what? I got to watch the last episode of SpongeBob. And then I said to him, could you please do me a favor and write a check for this bill? And he goes, you know what? I have to finish playing Chutes and Ladders. And me, then I said to him, you know what, honey, dinner will be ready in just a second. I'm making it in the Easy Bake Oven. I can't give you a blowjob tonight because I'm brushing Barbie's hair. And then I'll be in the closet sniffing strawberry shortcake's, body. My last joke, and then I'm out of here. Thank you. It's amazing. My son is going through puberty. It's upsetting. He's 12. I have 2 kids now, Chuck. My son's going through puberty, comes to the dining room table the other day. He goes, Mom, I'm going through puberty. I hear that, I'm going to get facial hair. My voice is going to change and my penis will be enormous. And I said, you know what, kid? You get that from me. All right, everybody. Good night. That's my time. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
Oh, terrific. Thank you.
Get that whole thing about marriage, man.
Yep.
Tell you what, the hardest thing about marriage is you stop being a you and you start being a we. You know what I mean?
Yep.
We do this. We think this. We think that. And I got more and more annoyed by it. And finally, I'm out with another couple with my wife. And we're in a restaurant. This was, before the lockdown. We're in a restaurant. All of a sudden, some Billy Joel comes on. The music in the restaurant. One goes, oh, Billy Joel! Oh my God! New York State of Mind. We love Billy Joel. I couldn't take it anymore. I snapped. I said, no, we don't love Billy Joel. I don't love Billy Joel because he's a wife beater. He's a drunk. He stole all his music from the Beatles. And he's just God, he's just terrible. And I'm a man. I'm a me. I'm not we. Don't speak for me. I'm a we. I'm a man. He turns to my friends and says, we're a little cranky tonight. You can't get away from it is what I'm saying. I'm sorry. I took time from the show to say that, but I had to get it off my chest.
Right.
I got a little hot with people, and I'm sorry. I apologize.
Speaking of a little cranky, every Monday night, Mike shares his crankiest self with the world. And you're an affable and laughable, wonderful host of the Open Mic Comedy Show on Monday nights. That's where we met a lot of the great talent here tonight. So new comedians from around the world, Monday nights at 7 p.m. You can watch it on the YouTube at Colorado Comedy Shows. Today's episode, virtually the first Thanksgiving comedy show. I think we're doing all right with it. And then don't forget, this Friday is my Dirty Christmas comedy show. It's virtually dirty this year. I'm getting buff, doing my bench presses and such. And then over the holidays, Lifestyles of the Virtually Jolly is going to be a very fun show on December 13th. And then our New Year's resolution virtual helpline, December 27th. If you need help with the New Year's resolution, that's the show to come to. And New Year's Eve, December 31st, we're doing a show 7 p.m., which Mary, if you figured out, is nowhere. It's midnight nowhere when midnight. Yeah. Like we can't even pronounce the names of the towns in Greenland and or Brazil. Brazil's going to be popping. So we're having a New Year's Eve. It's for people who like to go to bed early. We'll have virtual fireworks.
Actually, it's a show for people who like to dance samba music while blowing a whistle in igloo.
Right. Who's the whistle?
The show that we're doing.
Mike, we have thank yous to say. Thanks to Theodore Simeon, one of our VIPs. Thank you, Theodore. Appreciate you being here. We have prizes for you, along with Aaron Leiden Lorson and your whole gang. I see you all watching. So thanks for joining the show. And let's take a look at what we have for you today. Ease in early, Mike. We got some turkey for you, everybody. Just for Thanksgiving, we got you this perfectly prepared virtual turkey. So
I've learned to sneak up on a turkey over the years, as you notice.
Right. And
yes, my favorite.
Yeah, green bean casserole. We got you all the fixings.
Is that what that is? I thought it was
right.
the the morning after.
Oh man, I'm getting hungry.
Right. Hey, Cecil, I think you're general admission, so you be careful there. That's
right.
That's for the others. We have a prize
Well, you
for
can
general
look at
admission.
it, but don't touch.
We got you
Yeah.
this.
I'm just going down to Saturdays. That's it.
Right.
I think they have chicken wings.
Yes. Yes. So then we got you a Yule log, and then Aaron and Theodore. We also got you this. Not quite sure what it is. It's you just imagine that. It's a gift that keeps on giving, and
Oh, here it goes.
Get out. Get out.
I guess you also get salad.
Yeah.
Everybody wouldn't want you to leave without a nice VIP salad. That's what can you do there. So I hope you enjoy your VIP prizes. We'll try to email you tomorrow and remind you about your terrific VIP gifts. So thank you again to our terrific VIPs. Cecil, and those of you who purchased general admission tickets, we have gifts for you. Blondie will take your drink order, and then got you this. Drumstick.
Yep.
Everyone loves a drumstick at Thanksgiving. And
Yeah.
So the people in the balcony
all.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I'm so glad. So please enjoy a drumstick for each of you who enjoyed the general admission tickets. It's cold and icy, just like my heart. So, oh, for fuck's sake.
Sarpone, for God's sakes, you don't have salad with ice cream.
It's just supposed to be ice cream. And
Except
this
my
guy
grandma
with his pushy little salad.
Here's some ice cream and some salad to wash it down with.
Right. Oh, yummy. Does it have red onion? Thank God, Chef Scapone. That's always what I want after.
It'll go good with my fortune cookie.
Oh, perfect.
Which isn't good either.
You're doing great. So just want to remind you, and thanks for, we've been seeing in the chat and such. I'm glad you're active in the chat, and thanks for rooting us on. We're glad to donate to Elevating Connections, and we'll think good thoughts for youth separated from their siblings by the foster care system. The programming that Stacy puts on offers them events to connect with their siblings, especially now during the holidays. That's quite the challenge, and we're glad she does the work that she do. So we'll think good thoughts for Stacy and gang. And if you want to contribute, if you're watching on YouTube, the website, it was there. On Saturdays, I like to drink beer and laugh and watch Dear Comics at the Bar on Instagram. The guy on the left appears to be intoxicated often during the show. It's an actual review from the show. Somebody just posted on the Instagram. The guy on the left seems intoxicated, and I am when I do that show. We have a person who performs and is often a guest on the Dear Comics at the Bar, and she'll be performing with us here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I am glad to see her smiling face, and I think we're lucky to enjoy her comedy. Would you please welcome Emily Cornelius?
Woohoo! Yeah. Hi, everybody. I'm super excited to be here. As you can tell, this is Emily's Craft Corner. So we will be just making some trash. And I know that a craft segment is probably kind of overdone. I'm not Martha Stewart, no. I am kind of a manic pixie dream girl, except for it's more just like manic Viking sleep paralysis being. So for our first segment, we will be making a craft for autumn, for fall. And how do you make something for fall? You put a leaf on it. If you're following along at home, get a leaf, a couple of leaves, oblong, and get some glue, scissors, and some paper, and a marker, a pen, a writing utensil. I don't know, maybe you write in the blood of your enemies. You do you. I can't tell you what fall means, you know? But for me, it means a leaf that I found outside my apartment complex and some super glue. Again, if you're following at home, get those materials. If you are a part of the live audience, take a look under your seats, because you get a free nickel or something that's under there. I did not come into your home, but very excited about this craft. Put the eye on. And we have a bird.
Aww.
Earlier, because I'm a prepared Sally. And that's a thing that the kids say. I made these two friend birds in the grass, but it does look like they're in hell. Not sure what that is supposed to mean. I do believe in kind of making your space feel nice, and for me that means decorating for the seasons. You can see behind me I've got some trash. It's cardboard that I cut into stars, and this twine is actually from a ship. When I started my performing career, I was a mermaid, and long story, but sailors are very giving. Now, for our second segment, I don't know if you all can tell, but I'm better when I'm drunk, and I'm gonna make a drink. We're gonna make, it's a whiskey, cranberry, and orange cocktail.
Yeah.
Who's excited?
Woohoo!
So first, step one, you're gonna get some cranberries. You know, mine are from my cranberry farm outside, but store-bought is fine. Actually, this year was a particularly bad year for my cranberries, so I did have to buy them from this store. We're gonna put a splash of orange juice. So this is what I say when I mean a splash. I'm not gonna muddle them. So I bought my cranberries from the store. I don't have a muddler. This is what I have. I'm young. You can craft at your home. You could do this with your hands. Please do not. So we're gonna. All right. So I got what I ordered from the grocery store was a pound of cranberries. You don't need more than a pound of cranberries. What are you gonna do with them? And apparently that was out of stock, so they did send me 3 pounds of cranberries, and I am using this as an excuse. Next, we've got some muddling going on. That looks like a color. We're gonna add the good stuff, and by the good stuff, I mean bottom shelf. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're just gonna jostle it, just agitate the things that are in there. At which point we're gonna pour over a small amount of ice that has been sitting out for longer than I'd wish. Look how pretty that is. That almost looks like something.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna taste this. I don't like whiskey. Maybe make it. I don't know what you're into. This was just a taste of what's to come next week at the Dirty Christmas Show. You will be seeing home decor, Christmas, home DIY decor from yours truly. I hear I will be wearing an apron, and some people have a weird Beavis, not Beavis. What is it? What's the Leave It to Beaver? Have a weird Beaver fantasy. Thank you.
Okay.
And as June Cleaver, Emily Cornelius is signing off.
Woohoo!
Emily
These
Cornelius
little leaves.
putting the cleavage in her June Cleaver impression. Emily Cornelius. Sorry.
Hey, I put on a bra for this, and I want you all to know. I tried.
Next time, pants, huh?
They're shorts. I'm wearing shorts.
My fun thing about our show is comedians are sneaking in just to hang out, and then we're saying things like, hey, why don't you do a quick spot? So
Raghu!
to join us for some fun is Raghu Adibhatla, ladies and gentlemen. Nice.
So he's either hanging out in a robe or he's about to go into a
Right. Performing live from the Playboy Mansion. Please welcome Raghu Adibhatla.
Hey guys. This is what I call my sick robe. Every time my family sees this on, it's like, oh damn, he's sick. No. But speaking of sick, this coronavirus is pretty crazy. I feel like they're using the same map for the coronavirus and the Verizon coverage. I don't know anymore. So my name, people make fun of me a lot. And the one thing I get all the time is like the sauce, right? And, I should do that when I meet people, right? Hey, what's your name? John. Oh, you mean like the shitter? and the guy who buys hookers. Hey, what's your name? Brandy. Oh, you mean like the single mom stripper? What's your name? Donald. Oh, you mean like the shitter? I get to feel for people. Some people haven't gotten rid of their Halloween decorations yet. I went past this one house. They still had their Trump Pence sign up. Oh, scary. Scary, guys. The election was really long. I mean, it was longer than most Indian weddings. And that's That's pretty damn long, you guys. And I learned today Indian weddings are just as long as cooking turkeys, right, Mary? That's about 4 days. But yeah, I mean, the election was kind of crazy because, you know, you got a bunch of people now contesting the election. Basically, a bunch of people who don't believe in science trying to do math. So that's pretty scary. All right, I'm going to work on that one. Sorry. There's no plan for that. That's okay. We got 2 small kids, which means we don't watch horror movies anymore. Because we have a kid that comes into our room and in the dark at 3 a.m. and stands next to me like Paranormal Activity, breathing and trying to talk to me. And except the scary part is this dynamic force is going, Daddy. Daddy, can I sleep in your bed?
Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't know what you are yet. You're like a silhouette with a blanket. I'm not sure yet. So I don't know if we should allow you in our bed. No. I'm gonna end on this. I love Christmas. Christmas is great. I'm looking forward to it. Except when I was little, my family, like my parents, you know, they ruined Christmas for me because I found out right away that there was no Santa Claus. And one way was that my dad would come down the stairs dressed up as Santa Claus, right? He would come down the stairs and go, ha, ha, ha. Happy Christmas, pronouncing the T. They would always get the cheapest thing on the list, right? And that's the other reason I knew it wasn't Santa Claus, and it was my parents. And but the other thing is that, you know, I knew right away that there isn't going to be a brown Santa Claus, right? There isn't going to be one. You know why? Because the world is not prepared for a brown guy with a long beard breaking into people's homes and leaving suspicious packages. It's thanks guys for letting me do some time. That's all I'm gonna do. Thank you.
Raghu.
Happy Christmas. Happy Christmas to you, Raghu.
Yes, you too, Mike.
Learn to enjoy it the American way. Spend too much money and argue about paying for it for the next 6 months.
That's right.
That's the American way of Christmas. And watch your children play with the boxes. Anyway, you know, Chuck.
Mike.
As a general rule, the way we host the show is, you know, you and I, we banter. Oh God.
Right.
You know, it's funny. It's funny in a way that people say halfway through the show, hey, where's the button to push to pay more money? Because these two guys are just
incredible. It happens all the time. People.
Oh my God! I wish I had a dime for every time that happened. You know, I would know what Franklin Roosevelt looked like. I'm just saying that we don't usually do sets ourselves. Right. You know, I mean, I have all of these jokes that I know you want me to do, but I'm not going to because I won't sully Christmas with all this dirty stuff. You know, I'm not going to do the joke about Santa has so much pussy juice in his beard. He's called Chris Crinkle. No.
Oh, don't do that joke, Mike.
No, I don't stoop like that. I'm not going to do jokes.
Mike, I think the people already got their money's worth. You're just giving away the laughs now, Mike.
We're in the red. We're in the red with laughs, and now we're in the red already. And I think it's time for us to, if we're going to go into deficit spending, let's go all the way. You do it, Seth. No, don't even say no. Just start doing comedy.
I'm trying to fight you on this one, Mike.
I know you don't want to. I know you don't want to.
You know what kind of comedy capitalist I am.
You should do. No, I'm just going to shut up and you go. You take it off.
This is going to happen, Mike, at your request. And to the audience's benefit and the thrill of everyone out there in YouTube land.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I've got Emily inspired. I'm gonna tell a tale of my best holiday gift and crafting ever. And way to muddle through that performance, Emily. I enjoy it. If I want to agitate a drink, I'm just going to invite it to my family holiday Zoom.
You don't even need to stir it.
I don't know if your family is doing a holiday Zoom. I think it's perfect for my family. Most of them are two-dimensional. So it's gonna snow, apparently. See, so that's what they say. Is we're gonna have snow by Tuesday, and I'm looking forward to it. I live here in Colorado for the snow and the sledding. Lots of people like the skiing and the snowboarding. I'm a sledder. Fat guys are good at sledding. Our sleds go the furthest. That's why. It's a matter of physics, and it's, I think, also just God's sense of humor. You know, it's like, why don't you go the furthest down the hill there, Tubby? You need the longest walk back. Listen, Mary is there in Los Angeles, and it reminds me, I lived in Los Angeles during the holidays in 1998, 1999. Those were my days. And I remember a time where I pulled into my driveway and was inspired by lemons, the lemons on the tree. I was a little stoned, and I saw the lemons, and I was like, I'm going to make ornaments out of the lemons. I'm going to craft gifts. That's the year I did Third Rock, Will and Grace. There was I was with Gersh. There was tour money everywhere, you know, and there was time to take a week off. I don't do clean jokes. There weren't corporate gigs for me, and so I would go to the craft stores and arrange supplies. I bought mushroom cookies and a shit ton of cocaine and invited my hippiest friends to the house, and we had decorating parties and painted all sorts of little lemons. We trimmed them. Some would have leaves attached, others just hours of listening to the Grateful Dead, getting ripped and painting ornaments, and we packed them in boxes. I made labels. I shipped them on the way to, like, in between, before going to ship them, random hookup with a twink, just like, as if the holidays couldn't just get any better. Like my last hour at the Late Show, some tiny little fireball was like, I like bears, and I was like, I like fun. So then then I shipped all the boxes to the post office. Then I'm headed to the airport to get on the plane to go be with the family. Before I get to go to the airport, I'm someone who likes to have a cocktail. I stop by my neighbor's bar and tell him, hey, I've left one of these little packages on your front doorstep. Don't be scared. It's just it's going to look like a little Christmas present. Inside is one of the lemons from the tree out in the yard, and it's done up like an ornament. You're going to love it. I've shipped them to everyone on my family. And you know how that is. Like, when you're deciding Christmas, you got to decide who's getting a gift, who's getting a card, and who's getting thrown off your list. Like, fuck you. We're not friends anymore. Tough luck. And so that was, I'm like, that year I had to be like, I love you. You're getting a lemon. Card, and you no longer friends. My friend at the bar puts a little shot in front of me, and I was like, I've had a few. I don't think I need another one. He's like, Chuck, you're gonna want this shot. And we kind of got into it. And then he's like, Chuck, take the shot. And so I take the little shot of tequila, and he goes, Chuck, those aren't lemon trees. Those are lime trees, and limes turn yellow when they rot.
Oh no.
Yeah. So I had sent every one of my best friends rotten fruit for Christmas. People opened up packages of dried crusty fruit and broken crafts, paint chips and little eyeballs. Like people made reindeer. Well, that doesn't look like a reindeer anymore. It looks like a box with shit in it. And my best friends were like, he's an asshole, and we no longer speak to each other. So that year, if I decided you're just a Christmas card, you're probably now my best friend. And if I didn't send you anything at all, like, it was time to rekindle friendships. So that is my holiday story. I hope you find that to be very crafty.
Ooh, what a festive story.
And so what we'll do, Mike, is we'll give a nice round of applause to everybody who was on the show. We had a fire of show, great comedians. We had this might be the finest audience we've had.
Oh God.
I think
I recommend everybody save the chat because it has been en fuego.
out there in the YouTube land. Hi, Stacy, watching on YouTube.
Show is great. In the
Stacy's watching on YouTube. We're gonna let the sing along happen on YouTube.
Can we mention them by names?
There's your sweet logo. Thanks for what you do, Stacy. We know you had a tough week. You know, like what Stacy does during the day is she works with youth and challenges, and so I hope you got to laugh, and we hope we made you feel better, and we'll think good thoughts for all the folks who are out there in the world of childcare. And so thanks to you, ApocaLips audience. You did it. Laughed together. We achieved charity. We had fun gifts, and we thought nice things for the youth. Mike, I got to pop you on the screen here because we're going to do some singing, my friend. If you're gonna
that song that you sent me,
right, if you're near the exits, Mike, you're not supposed to give away that I sent you the song.
I didn't get a chance to open it, so I'm not really giving it anything.
Right. Oh, thank God. Folks, the neighborhood outside the apocalypse seems to, if they don't get that paycheck protection program refunded, shit is going to hit the fan outside the apocalypse.
600 check will handle 3 of those people.
Enjoy the view. For those of you who might be comedy nerds, this is actually a photo of the combat zone in Boston.
Yep.
Just right, Mary? Just
Yep.
outside Nick's Comedy Stop.
Yep.
You'd leave gigs and you got to walk through the combat zone. And so you'd have to, you'd walk
These
someone like
people are wicked retarded.
right. You'd say words like that. And then, there's all sorts of fun people who dance and sing and work a variety of careers. Oops. My ride is here. When we see the guy in gold, it's usually time to say goodnight to YouTube, but I know Stacy's out there watching, so we're gonna do the sing-along. YouTubers, you were so good. Folks in the audience, the words will appear on screen. Mike doesn't know the tune or the words. Usually. Today,
I know what you're thinking. What? He doesn't know the words of the tune. Why does it sound so good? Well, the little thing I like to call talent, people.
Right. He likes to sing, and if you like to sing along, you go ahead and sing along too. Absolutely. So we can hear you out there in YouTube land. Here we go, Mike.
Hey.
Let's sing along.
Let's sing along.
Everyone sing along.
Everyone sing
Clap
along.
your hands. Everyone clap your hands.
Everyone clap your hands.
Wear a mask.
Everyone wear a
Everyone
mask.
wear a mask.
Stay home for Thanksgiving. Everyone stay home for Thanksgiving.
Everyone stay home for Thanksgiving.
Thanks
for a good show.
Everyone, thanks for a good show.
Everyone,
Have a good Thanksgiving.
have a good Thanksgiving.
Everyone, have a good Thanksgiving.
Everyone, have a good Thanksgiving.
Good job, Mike.
No,
Man,
Really do
no,
a good
really,
job.
you do a good job. No kidding, we totally mean.
Thanks, Sukumar, Mary, and
Thanks, Sukumar, Emily, you're me. Hope you had a good night, Stacey. Steve, have fun with your family.
Feels feels good.
Feels good to be nice. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it totally feels good deep down to
Deep
your
down in your
soul.
soul.
Thanks for singing with us,
Thanks
mighty
for singing,
people.
mighty people.
Please come back
Come
again.
back again.
Doobie wop wop. Doobie wop wop.
That's copyrighted, by the way, so keep your mitts on.
So funny.
You know,
Yes.